How you doing?
I'm fine. Are you fine today, Neil?
I am. I usually wake up at like 3:30, 3:45. Today I got up at 5:25.
To clarify, we're talking about AM, not PM.
Correct.
Did parenthood turn you less nocturnal?
Uh, I know. I think it was. I think it's part of. Well, it's part of genetics. Number one, because my father would get up really early too. But when I used to do gigs, and I get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, and my father get ready for work, he would come into my room and turn the lights on and keep flicking them at like 6 o'clock. Wake up, son. Wake up, son. Why do I have to wake up now? So he did that kind of stuff because he carpenter, old school.
Gotcha. Well, we're not here to talk about family habits or sleep. We're here to talk about Three Chord Bourbon, your
Yeah.
successful spirits company. The roots of the spirits company go back, what, 8, 9 years?
Yeah, 9 years. Yeah, pretty
Nine
long time.
years based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I peg you as an Ohio person, but
Correct.
what's the tie to Grand Rapids? Just the distillers out there?
Yeah, the distiller, when it came time to find a distiller 9 years ago, my team, we went all over the place. We went to Florida, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, everywhere.
Hmm.
Then we landed in Michigan, and when I shook hands with Ari Zussman, my whiskey maker, I knew right then we started talking. He was the guy. And Michigan has interesting. I learned, with the spirits industry, I was kind of green. I didn't know how any of this worked, right? So when you
Hmm.
look at the lineage and the way whiskey came into America, it came through Michigan, and it was really interesting to find. So that's the stuff I started learning from Ari, So, I mean, most people want to hear Kentucky, Tennessee, but
Sure.
Michigan has a lot of history, early history. So,
Well,
mhm.
something I admire about what you do with Three Chord Bourbon is given not just the success you've had with Pat, you as a producer and songwriter for other artists over the years, you're
Right.
kind of taking an A&R approach to how you do the artist collabs or the artist tributes with the line. Did you have the concept of that when you came up with Three Chord Bourbon?
No, the concept I did have was to create a family of musicians, right?
Hmm.
The backstage series was something that kind of evolved through talking with the team, because our team is a democracy. Everybody has an opinion. I oversee it. I'm the chairman of the board,
Hmm.
but I'm listening to everybody, right? So uh, I want to create. I love family, and I love families, and I love musicians, and I like to help musicians because. It is a tough, tough, tough business to be in, and it's controlled. It's originated when you become a musician. It's kind of in your soul, and you
Hmm.
you can't fight that, right? And
Right.
so so the backstage series was just the evolution of the primary fundamental of helping musicians, helping people. The help and artists doesn't matter who it is, musicians, artists, athletes, doesn't
So
matter.
it's a mix of artists that are household names, a mix of between that and rising artists. You pay tribute to your mentor, Rick Derringer, which
Sure.
is very cool. But were you always a bourbon person primarily?
I did like it when I was younger, and I still do. I mean, I do, but think of it this way. It's the one spirit where you can engage in conversations. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's not meant to be going around doing shots. Hey, it's nothing wrong with that. Not for me. I want to create conversations with people. Have a sip. So it was funny. I was one of my bands I had. We used to play this place called the Viking Saloon. It was
Hmm.
in Cleveland, and it was the location for bands like the Dead Boys and Perubu, and really the underground, future and experimental punk bands and hardcore stuff. And the band I had was a great band, and we were almost felt like the house band there because we always played there. But the owner's name was Dick Korn, and he would let us rehearse during the day. And he'd always say, fellas, whatever you drink, please let me know. You can drink whatever you want, but if whatever you drink, could you let me know so I have enough for the people that are coming to see you guys play and everything. We said good. So I would I would sip on this stuff called 10 High Bourbon. I don't know what it was, but that's what I was sipping on, and never abused it, never abused, just little sips. So
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
got it.
my family made wine. My father made wine. All my relatives made wine. And uh, as a child, I remember going to the doctor because had very low blood pressure and I was sick all the time. So the doctor tells my mother he needs to eat more garlic and he needs to have a glass of wine, even if it's a little. So I would drink wine when I was 10 years old, just like a little tiny little sip of wine at dinner.
Yeah.
Help digestion. So I don't know.
I remember hearing my parents calming my older brother down by putting a little whiskey on the pacifier or something like that.
Well,
So
you can rub it on the gums to for when you're breaking teeth in. Yeah, that's
exactly. Things that don't fly nowadays, but were totally
no,
normal back then.
no, that don't
Uh,
fly these days.
So do we know how many states offhand Three Chord Bourbon can be found at, or does it ship online to every
Well,
place?
yeah, we got an online presence. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got retailers. I couldn't be exactly positive on it. That's probably Ed, my PR guy, my team would know. I know where it's somewhere in the 30,
Mhm.
31, maybe. I mean, online, I'm sure we're everywhere, but actually, in store, I'm going to say that could be wrong. You know,
I'll research and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff. But
Yeah.
is it on the rider when you and Pat are playing that, two bottles of that?
It is, on the road, I don't drink that much, right?
Sure.
Again, I like to, engage, have a sip and do this, but the guys in the band and the crew, they love it. So I get it for them too. And um, it works out. Yeah, it's on the rider. Not every place has it, but you go to these casinos, a lot of people have it there. So
Sure. So you're one of those artists where there's so many different things to talk about because there's the success of the Spirits Company, there's, being a rock and roll Hall of Famer with Pat, etc. There's the producing and session work you've done for other people. A lot of directions to go in, but also a lot of charitable work that you've done, a lot of philanthropy, sitting on this board here, benefits event, that kind of stuff. What is going on for you at the moment besides playing, the usual 50 gigs a year?
oh, there's so much, but you're right about the philanthropy and the various causes that we're involved in and I'm involved in. Uh, children too, the abuse of children and is just awful, awful. The Children's Life Saving Foundation. I've been a member of that. I am board member of that for,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know, 35 years, maybe even longer, and various other projects and great charities around the country, right? Um, and because not because of this reason, but I was sick a lot when I was a child.
Mhm.
I can't even remember when I went to school and I felt healthy and I had a lot of emotional stuff going on. It was very difficult for me that growing up. I lived in my basement. I had a bedroom in the basement. I was very subterranean, kind of the creativity and the sensitivity of me, who I am as a core, conflicted with the regular lifestyle of being a normal kid, right? So it was very difficult for me. So causes like depression and loneliness and all those things are very, very powerful. And I write a lot of songs about it. You'll in the future you'll start seeing these songs come out. Um,
Mhm.
so I drifted off the question. Go back to what your question was?
Well, what's going on nowadays? Because it's such a multifaceted career where it seems like there's not a lot of sleep to bring it full circle.
There's not a lot of sleep.
No.
Um, what is really great is uh the creativity I'm getting in the morning. I always do. Every my whole life, the morning was special to me. So in the morning, I wake up, I charge out of bed because I can't sleep because I want to be awake, right? I want to
Mhm.
write. So the songwriting is spectacular, working really well for me now. I have a bunch of music projects that are coming up that I'm really excited about. Um, there'll be way too much detail to give for you for that, but I'm really excited about it all. So that's really good fun. Um, what else? That's my whole life. My studio. I live here. It's not subterranean anymore. It's above ground. I'm above ground now.
You're above ground now. You and
Above.
Ringo, the sick kids who had to
Yeah.
parlay that into careers.
Terrible, terrible. It was terrible. I always thought that it would get better as I got older, and it did. So I conquered that.
So being a Long Islander, dialing in from Long Island,
Yeah.
we forever associate Pat as a Long Island artist, even though
Yeah.
she's not living on Long Island. Do you consider yourself an honorary Long Islander by proxy?
No question. No question. Because, with Patricia, which was phenomenal, is that when I grew up, I had friends, but I didn't, the friends I had we were all kind of whacked out, right? And never keep in contact with them. The wife, she's got all her friends. She still talks to. And and when I first went and I met her family in 1979 and I saw where she grew up, uh, I, it was so great. It's like happy days. It was nowhere like I grew up. I grew up that we had gangs. It was really too tough a town for me to be growing up in. Her place was like this beautiful, great. Everybody's happy. Everybody's nice. It's like, wow. And they all took me in, even back then, as an honorary Long Islander, right? So they would do stuff. I remember when they gave the key to the city to Patricia. They wanted me up there because they wanted me to represent them as a love, you know, a new Long Islander that's from Cleveland, Ohio. So I love it there. I loved all her friends are phenomenal people, sweet as can be.
The opposite end of it, because we've mentioned Cleveland and Ohio a few times, really, Ohio doesn't get the credit it deserves for the music industry, not just what the Belkins did, but hey, Trent Reznor and Devo and Guided by Voices, etc. When did
Yeah.
you start to notice that Ohio was a hub for the music industry as opposed to a place you had to get out of in order to make it?
I always felt that was a place to get out of, but I realized there was a certain sound in Cleveland and there was a certain attitude. But I didn't know that then.
Hmm.
It's retrospective, looking back, I go, wow, that's right. A very art community, like an underground art community that we were all part of, but I never looked at it as being different, other than because the village you live and you grow up in your own village. There's no internet. You see different things about
Hmm.
other countries. See about California. Ooh, palm trees and sun. What a beautiful place that must be. The Florida, warm, nice. But you don't put it together. And and the bands, I just remember there were so many great bands, and everybody got along. I'd go see Rocket from the Tombs, which turned into
Oh
Peru.
yeah,
I'd go
yeah.
see them. They'd come and see me play. Gene O'Connor, Cheetah Chrome, would come, and Stiff Baders. They'd come and see me play. I'd go see them and see Frankenstein and all these other people. And but what I did realize is this Viking Saloon was a very powerful place for us, for the band.
Hmm.
And because the bands that came to town, all the really cool hip bands that would come in, they would always go there after the show because it was that kind of vibe. So
Right.
we just all wrapped ourselves around the village, our own kind, right? So to recognize that as being different than the rest of the country, maybe it was, but we just felt like this was us. This is where this is who we are. We
Sure.
didn't really look outside those lines. It was easy.
Well, two quick questions and then I let you go. The first one is one of the most famous recordings that you played on was the Working Class Dog record.
Mhm.
One thing that I've read differently all over the place is which guitar solos you played. Did you play on Jesse's Girl or is that Tim Pierce?
No, I did all the guitars and bass on Jesse's Girl, and I've done everything for you. I've done everything for you. Yeah, the Sammy Hagar song. I did that for Rick. Played all the guitars and all that stuff on there, and co-produced it with Rick and Keith Olsen. So, yeah, no, Timmy, I gave Timmy Pierce,
Hmm.
his first uh kind of real studios. I think he may have had one before that, but a big break for him. I gave it when I produced the John Waite record. I had
The
him
one
play
with
guitar.
changes on it, correct?
Correct, right. So a lot of people a lot of people say, "Hey, did you do the solo on Change or is that Tim Pierce?" And then Tim Pierce gets the reverse. So it's fun because I know him so well and he was such a great guy and I was so happy that he was the guitar player on that record, right? So,
Got it. I didn't realize that there was that inverse thing right there. Glad you could clarify that. And the
yeah.
last thing I have, did you ever think of with Three Chord Bourbon doing the your name and Pat Benatar doing the reverse thing to show who's boss finally?
You know, I have a relationship with Patricia as my wife and musical partner for a
Yeah.
long time. So I always know who the boss is. I don't ever mess on that. I don't even care. But there for spirits and like for Patricia's interests. I mean, we
Yeah.
do so many things together.
Yeah.
there's no ties at all for that. That would be I wouldn't want to do that. We we are both, even though I'm the wackier version of our world, she's so far right, not politically, that's not getting it. So
Right.
far right, and I'm so far left that I'll do something and I'll play something, write something, and she'll look at you, what the hell is that? And then I have to bring it, and then she helps me come to the middle, and I pull her a little more to the left, right? So, and that goes with other things like she wants to do a perfume thing or something. I ain't gonna have my name on that. You know, that's there's no way. We don't need to be that close with stuff. So, and you know what? Being together all the time, I love the Three Chord Bourbon. I love the whole team, and we got girls we're working in our team. You know, females and male. We're a whole collective, and I like it because it's different, but it still involves music, right? So it's teaching. I love to teach, and I love I love being around great people that are inspiring.
Actually, if I can throw in a follow-up before I let you go
Yeah,
to
of
that,
course.
the name Three Chord Bourbon, when I think of your guitar playing, I'm there's nothing three chord about it. It's very, I don't want to say shred oriented, but it's a lot of lead guitar playing. So
Mhm.
was there a runner-up name before Three Chord Bourbon was chosen?
Yeah, they were horrible too.
Oh,
They were really, really bad. One was steel bending a bourbon because steel bending being a guitar thing.
yeah.
Horrible. And I had some really good names like Legato Bourbon, all these
Yeah,
that,
musicians would get that, and
yeah,
Italians would get that. No one
beautiful
else.
name, beautiful names.
Yeah.
Every time I got a name, my trademark attorney say, nope, can't get it. It's taken, 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 taken. So I was getting really frustrated. How am I going to get this name? And then he told me this one really powerful thing. He says, the reason you don't have that name right is because it has to be right. And you haven't got that yet. You will get that. You will know when it's right. So I went to sleep. Oh, in the middle of the night, I went, wait a minute, three chords in the truth. Uh,
Oh, the Bono quote. Yeah.
Harlan, that's not Bono. That's Harlan.
Oh,
Harlan Howard. Harlan Howard. That's not Bono. Harlan Howard he was a Tennessee. He was a Tennessee, Nashville guy. He came up with the term three chords and the truth. And
Bono always gets credited for that, but
oh
you've
no,
just corrected history. Thank you.
no, that's not Bono. That's America, and that's Harlan Howard. I believe that's his name. And that really is the fundamental to all the great music, the great songs that like Hank Williams. And the point that why that is so powerful of a term
Yeah.
is because if you can't write a song with three chords and you can't tell the truth, you don't have a song. So I love everything it implied. I love the way it
Hmm.
applied to bourbon because bourbon, you have to be honest and you have to be truthful with that. You can't add things to bourbon. There's a certain way you have to do it.
Hmm.
It's also one of the most difficult spirits to do. And I challenge myself just like I challenge all you out there listening. I challenge you. I challenge you like I did with Love is a Battlefield and We Belong and Hell's for Children. I challenge all of you and to have you come on board. And just like I challenged myself. So that's why I chose that name. And it was funny because when I told the attorney that, he goes, let me see. He came back right away. He goes, it's yours. I go, I
Wow.
can't believe it. I can't believe it. Still to this day, I can't believe it wasn't taken. I also have a expression called whiskey drummer. And you know what a whiskey drummer was?
No, what was that?
The whiskey drummer was the guy that would bang the drum walking down the street saying, whiskey is now allowed in the country. We can drink again. That was to drum up business. That's what a whiskey drummer is. I wish I could show you that. I can't show it to you. It's our logo for Three Chord Whiskey Drummer. It's on my drum set right here. It's on my kit.
We'll put it in the copy of the article
Yes.
as well. But
Yeah.
uh,
So that's the good positive stuff about it. So
thank you for sharing that. Thank you for the decades of great art. Hope to see you live on Long Island in the near future. But thank you for your time,
absolutely.
Neil.
Thanks, Darren. I appreciate you. Thank you.